Hey class, this is Miss Grimm here, and I am going to cover our math virtual lesson today. So we talked about this a little bit before. We talked about greater than, less than, and equal to. So we're just going to touch on what that means again, just as a quick review, and then we're going to talk about some example problems, and then I'm going to let you know what you're going to be doing for this week, okay? So a video that we have with a quick explanation is by Jack Hartman from YouTube. We like Jack Hartman. We've listened to a lot of his videos. But you can think of greater than and less than in terms of a hungry alligator, where the hungry alligator chomps at the number that is greater, the number that is bigger than the other. So let's look at greater than. When one number is bigger than another, it is greater than the other number. So I have the number 11 and I have the number 4. And like I said, if we pretend like it's a hungry alligator, it's going to chomp at the bigger number. 11 is bigger than 4 because we know that we have one set of 10 and one 1, which makes it 10 and one more, which is 11, and over here we only have 4 ones. So if I have 11 cookies and you have 4 cookies, I have more cookies, right? So that's greater than. When the bit number is bigger than the other number, it's greater than the other number. Let's move on to less than. When one number is smaller than another number, it is less than the other number. So once again, let's use the numbers 4 and 11. The sign is chomping at the bigger number, but when the smaller number is on the left side and the bigger number is on the right side, we're going to say it's less than because I'm starting with the smaller number. So if you have 4 cookies and I have 11 cookies, you have less cookies than I do. So the smaller number here is going to try to eat the bigger number. Okay, see how the alligator is chomping towards that bigger number, that number that is greater. But when I have the smaller number first, it's said as less than. Okay, so it'd be 4 is less than 11. Now this is an easy one. When we know that we have 2 numbers that are the same, we know that they are equal to. If you have 4 cookies and I have 4 cookies, we have the same amount of cookies. We have an equal amount of cookies. So we would just use the equal sign between the 2 numbers to say that 4 is the same, it is equal to 4. Now when you go into the PowerPoint, into this slideshow on Google Classroom, I want you to practice these problems. We have 10 practice problems here, and I want you to tell me if it's greater than, and that's when the bigger number comes first, if it's less than, when the smaller number comes first, or if it's equal to, so that's when both numbers are the same. Okay, I want you to come back, I want you to practice and solve those, and I have an answer slide on the PowerPoint that you can look at, okay? So let's move on to the last slide. This is your assignment for the week, okay? You can write these down on paper and send them to me via picture or like on Messenger or Class Dojo. Or you can answer them on Google Classroom. There is a form on there that says greater than or greater than, less than, equal to. And you will go online to solve these problems. There are 12 problems, and you're going to see the greater than, the less than, and the equal to sign. So you need to tell me a number that is less than 7 because 7 is greater than, so we need a number that is smaller than 7 to put in this blank. On this one, on number 2 here, we have 11 is less than, because look at how it's pointing. It's almost kind of like an L. If I were to turn that on its side, it would look like an L for less. So 11 is less than, and then you're going to plug a number in here that is bigger than 11, because 11 has to be smaller than the number that comes after. Because when you start, when you have less than, the number on the left is going to be smaller than the number on the right. And then when we have the equal sign, we need a number that is equal. So 8 is equal to what? So whenever you are ready to do this, just write it down on paper and send me a picture, or go onto Google Classroom and submit that form. If you have any issues, please let me know, and you all are going to do great.